Jerry Rice and Janice Rutter believed they had discovered their ideal house. The couple and their kids moved there as soon as they completed their large purchase in the hopes of experiencing domestic bliss. They had no idea that someone was keeping an eye on them and that someone was determined to ruin the life of the young family. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. The most detrimental aspect? Their attacker appeared to take pleasure in each opportunity to inflict anxiety on the gullible couple for $779,000. Janice Rutter and Jerry Rice bought a house in Carmel Valley, San Diego. Despite the significant financial outlay, they were sure they had located the ideal house for their growing family. Despite competition from other families, Janice and Jerry emerged victorious in the bidding battle and promptly moved in. However, this would be their final peaceful time in their new house. Rutter works as a microbiologist, and Rice instructs autistic youngsters in special education programs. They had one kid, and Rutter was 8 months pregnant with their second when they moved into their new house. Until they got an odd letter in the mail, their sole concern was making a good first impression on their neighbors. Everything appeared ideal for a time. Then an odd message appeared through the door, offering the couple something they didn't want to accept. It found out that the couple would be in for some real nightmares when it comes to their dream home. The message came from a bidder who was suddenly anxious to possess the house the family had purchased. The letter's author asked the family to sell them their new home in exchange for $879,000, which was $100,000 more than what they had originally paid for it. Rutter and Rice, perplexed and eventually skeptical, chose to disregard the memo. Cash was not a barrier. With a newborn to tend to, the couple was overjoyed in their new family home and soon forgot they had ever gotten this note. They would come to understand later that they ought to have preserved it as proof. Rutter and Rice observed odd things happening a few months after receiving the message. More prospective purchasers started pounding on their door to see the property. Is it possible that their realtor overlooked removing her listing for the house once it was bought? The couple conducted some investigative work and found that someone had created a fictitious real estate listing, saying that their house was once again for sale. Nobody could have set up the listing, not even the couple's real estate agent. Unfortunately, this was just the start of the bizarre events that were to unfold. The family and their neighbors had a particularly hard time on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day cards with the name JR were given to every lady on the street, and soon enough, people realized that these were Rice's initials. When several of his new neighbors knocked on his door violently that week, Rice had the opportunity to meet them face to face. The neighborhood would continue to be infuriated by the anonymous abuse in the future. Rutter and Rice were beginning to suspect that someone was pulling practical jokes on them at this time. All they could do was apologize to their neighbors and tell them that they were being harassed for unknown reasons by an unknown individual. Jerry was beginning to become worried since he had 2 kids to protect. If he ever wanted this harassment to stop, he realized he had to do something about it. The family talked to the police because they were afraid that someone might invade their privacy. As their paranoia increased, they locked down the family mailbox and bought a cutting-edge security system. Jerry Rice told ABC News, "We had no idea who was tampering with us, and they may be approaching our front door." Rice's wife soon observed a shift in his behavior as he became increasingly committed to holding their tormentor accountable. The marriage of the couple suffered as a result of all of this stress. Rutter was consumed with keeping the family safe and trying to figure out who was pursuing them and why, so Rice started to become more and more distant from him. He would be up a lot during the night, Rutter said to ABC News. Rice was preoccupied with figuring out who was intimidating him rather than why it was occurring. The pair eventually encountered the scariest event of them all. One day, a guy knocked on their door, bent on having sex with Rutter. Upon discovering the cause of this, Rutter expressed, "My stomach dropped." After being contacted right away, the police discovered evidence that put these strange occurrences into context. Rice was fortunately home when the man made his attempt, so she confronted him and got him to leave. Things had gone beyond ordinary practical pranks, so the family called the police again. The unusual man at their door was described in an internet post that the police managed to locate, purporting to be from Rutter. The cops found something on the internet that made Rice and Rutter sick to their stomachs. Online, a picture of Rutter appeared alongside the invitation, which said, "Adult entertainment of all types. Come meet me throughout the day while my hubby is at work while he's not home so we can get our freak on." The address of the family and other private details were also included in the invitation. The couple realized who may be behind all of this harassment as they racked their minds, and when they did, they remembered the message from their prospective buyer and found out it was signed by Kathy Rowe. After starting to investigate Kathy Rowe, they got their first significant lead in the case. After finding Rowe's photo online, Rutter was taken aback to see that she actually knew this woman. On Halloween, she and her kid had gone door to door to trick or treat. Was that a ruse to monitor the pair before they were harassed anymore? Rowe's past did not indicate that she posed a threat to anybody. She was a model citizen, in fact, having won Mother of the Year for taking care of her severely disabled daughter. But Rowe was concealing a sinister secret that the authorities would soon find out. Rowe, quote, "S. life behind the scenes was a complete wreck. Her husband was seriously ill and she was experiencing sleep deprivation due to the stress of taking care of her kid around the clock. This may sometimes result in poor decision-making and general sadness." Rowe described this period of her life as one in which she was devastated with pain and depression, jealous and destroyed. So why was she bothering this couple she'd never met before? Subsequently, Rowe acknowledged that she had been obsessed with Rutter and Rice's home due to her illness. She broke down in tears when she lost the house to a higher bidder, since she had considered owning it as a fresh start. She sent the fake Valentine's cards, listed the property online, and posted the couple's personal information online as a result of this destruction, according to Rose. "I believe that a person's family, friends, and support system contribute to their resilience. I was devoid of those." She acted unreasonably due to her mental condition since she had no emotional support. Would Rice and Rutter, however, pardon Rowe for her deeds or seek retribution of their own after learning about this? Because of her damaged mental condition, Rowe found her harassment amusing. The cops were not in agreement, and neither were Rutter and Rice. In an interview with ABC News, Rice said, "She was kind of playing Russian roulette with my family." He desired that Rowe face the worst penalties possible. After obtaining an internet search order, the cops eventually followed Rowe's IP address to her residence. After being caught, the offender was made to face the consequences of her mental health condition. The narrative concludes happily for Rowe, who finally obtained the necessary mental health care and was able to locate a new home about a mile from the ideal estate she was unable to purchase. Naturally, Rowe's close-knit community is a source of dismay for Rutter and Rice, but Rowe maintains that her mental health has considerably improved since her guilty plea. This narrative emphasizes the value of receiving care and assistance for mental health issues. If Rowe had been helped earlier and had a more robust support network surrounding her, she probably wouldn't have been unhealthily fixated. It's critical to take care of your mind in the same way that you would your body, and you should consult a medical expert for assistance if you find that you are experiencing stress in your life. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.